Wild Hearts is a Monster Hunter clone with Fortnite build on the run mechanic and with Neo Engine. Familiar parts blended together. Do they work? Well, depends how you plan on playing the game. I don't play multiplayer at all, so it doesn't interest me for any game, so this review is strictly for players that are interested how good the game is if solo play is their focus. I've spent over 30 hours with the game on PC after the patch and got familiar with about half the weapons. Haven't reached the end, but these types of games don't change drastically. Same hunts, stronger monsters, better gear essentially. So let's get to it, you oversized bastards. It is going to be shorter review due to other games that are releasing soon. We all know by now that Monster Hunter games aren't really story driven. In such games, story mostly serves to introduce new mechanics and get players to practice by hunting different monsters. Pretty much the same in Wild Hearts. Nothing substantial that would invest players into what is going on. Similar to Monster Hunter as well, with terrible dialogue. Basically, monsters are going mental because there is less and less life thread, so they are becoming a danger to the city. Time for a hunter to rise to figure everything out and save the city. Hunting city or village Minato is geometrically a bit annoying when it comes to practicality. It is a port city with decent amount of people and interactable NPCs, and quests sometimes don't show them on the map, so searching for a specific person is sometimes very difficult. Thankfully it doesn't happen that often. Usually everything is clear and there are fast travel options to different regions of the city. One of the bigger disappointments came about 20 hours in when I realized there are only around 7 unique monsters, and some can be only fought by repeating story missions that relate directly to them. Way too few, especially for a fully priced game. They will add monsters over time for free from what I hear, but I am not judging the game this is going to be, but game it is now. Of course, this is all going to be factored in potential score at the end. Monsters themselves look great, with my favorite being King Tusk, epic monster with ridiculous size. New monster types are clear reskins of the ones encountered early, with some new moves, but with almost same tactic necessary to beat. They are much more aggressive than in Monster Hunter games, with the damage of most attacks being very high. Soon I have realized that game is not optimized for single player experience. For multiplayer might be a different story because you can create different tactics to attract the aggression and manipulate monsters' aggression and damage. Sound off in comments about your multiplayer experience. Gameplay is fun, fast and smooth. You have to react quickly, and especially in a single player it rewards fast thinking and skill. Problem is that you can perfectly play for 20 minutes, then make a slight mistake and then monster kills you with 2 hits, and sometimes even with 1 move. Very annoying. Even upon killing a monster, I don't have that rewarding feeling. If I feel anything, it is a relief, and that is not a good feeling to have due to the fact that same enemy is going to have to be beat many times again to get better gear. You want that rewarding feeling and positive anticipation for the epic fight to be experienced again. Not to have negative thoughts like, ah shit, not this again. Especially when fighting certain monsters like Mighty Lavaback. Stops being fun very quickly, even with so many tools at your disposal. Talking about the tools, build on the run mechanic is amazing and fits this style of game brilliantly. Things that can be pulled off are incredible. Fly above, jump on springs, build weapons, traps, barricades, launch yourselves to a monster to grab their back. Very impressive. There are a lot of things that can be done, and because of it game needs to add a couple of quick instant build shortcuts, cause I could never remember even half the combinations during fights. So having quick access to build some of them would be great, especially in a game that is fast with very aggressive enemies that can kill you instantly. Trying to remember exact combinations of all different stuff and building it exactly to schematics at times is a problem. Weapons are typically Monster Hunter game types fantastic, same here, so well designed and methodical with great animations and fun to use. Very diverse styles of play as well. There are total of 8 weapons and I have played with 4 so far. Every weapon has a learning curve that isn't so steep but hard to truly master. Have to mention a ridiculous weapon called Claws that attaches claw to the monster that serves as an anchor of sorts while player levitates around and attacks. Incredible creative stuff. During fights, a little bastard accompanies the player that is very useful. If player is in danger, it will draw monster's attention and attempt to heal. Found it quite useful a lot of times to at least buy me some time to get back on the horse or a monster. Maps are large and getting to monsters can't take a long time usually, so build mechanic can be used to create shortcuts which stay upon leaving or completing hunts. I really like the fact it stays, so you can just continue building on top of everything you've done already. Problem is that at the beginning, due to threshold put into place and unavailability of higher level materials, traversing methods that can be placed on the map are too few. Later on that changes and shortens time to reach monsters, but during first 20 hours or so it takes too long. Game also has a lot of smaller issues that I'm gonna list now. Camera gets lost into surroundings, often leaving player completely lost and vulnerable. Animations are really good, but graphically game is mediocre at most. Thankfully it plays smoothly, which is far more important. This is subjective one, but I think aesthetically armor sets suck. Side quests and other stuff that tries to add any sort of significance to hunts, which is something you are doing constantly anyway, are pointless except for additional rewards that can speed up material acquisition. Never really liked quest system in Monster Hunter, nor do I like it here. Sometimes on PC controls seem unresponsive, like not being able to use healing potion before you stop moving, or not wanting to dodge upon button press. Finishing moves are pathetic. Now for a conclusion, from a strictly single player perspective, Wild Hearts for me is a 5 out of 10 game due to too many issues of which a lot can be fixed. It is a half-arsed release with fun gameplay and some great ideas, but held back by rushing it and the promise of upcoming content that would add a lot to the game eventually. In that case, with some of the issues fixed and with a more balanced rather than cheap approach to difficulty, I could see game being a decent one for strictly single player, so potential is 6 out of 10. In multiplayer it is probably much more fun and more balanced, so scores should be higher. Considering the price is around $70 or euros, game at this point is not worth it, not even close. Eventually it might be, but at the moment it doesn't have that staying power, especially not from a strictly single player perspective. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for watching and see you soon.